The biggest challenge everyone seems to have when deciding to go on their venture of building a marketing agency is where the do I find my first client? Since I've built a marketing agency on my own, I know a thing or two on how to get your first client, and I will share the step-by-step process to make sure that you never run out of them. But all you need to do is start taking action. But before we dive into it, you're gonna start by taking action right now by clicking the like button below this video. So let's dive into it. Step number one is getting social proof. The big thing when starting an agency or digital marketing agency of any kind is getting people to know who you are. A lot of times people are choosing industries that have a slim chance of people knowing who you are. Establishing the social proof, establishing your name in the industry is going to be the biggest thing possible. Now there's multiple ways you can do that when you get into the industry. The number one way that I suggest is literally the fact of going and getting free work. Because at the end of the day, when you do free work in exchange for a testimonial, you have now starting to build your trajectory of getting that social proof. Eventually, you can start charging the client that you're doing the free work for. I've not only built this in my current company, I've literally shared multiple people that I'm in the midst of acquiring agencies that have built this. I'm in the midst of partnering with agencies that are doing this, and it has worked time and time and time again. Another way you can do this is go and work in the industry that you want to be servicing as an agency. So you may be working 9 to 5 in the industry that you want to be servicing, but then from 5 to 9 you're servicing the industry on the agency side. There's a double-edged sword to this entire madness, and the double-edged sword is the fact that when you're working in the industry, if you have no experience but it intrigues you and you have a passion around it, is you get to understand how they think, you get to understand how they work, and you get to understand what they're saying and what their biggest pain points are. When you're in it all day long, even if you do it for 3 to 6 months at a time and commit to yourself that 3 to 6 months that you are going to be working in that industry, you will understand every single piece. There'll be cliche terms, there'll be keywords, there'll be terms that they use on a day-to-day basis that you will have to understand. So when you go and pitch other people that are in that exact industry that you want to go after, you can talk to them like you've been in it for years. All it is a little bit of experiencing, understanding their pain point, and going down and doing it. The other way you can do it, and this is the way I originally started when I first started to do my digital marketing agency, is literally the good old traditional door knocking. And I started by doing door knocking and kind of like literally just getting to know what their pain points are. Now you got to have a little bit of sales skill set to get and to be confident enough to do that. However, what I would suggest you do, like I said every single time, the quickest, easiest way to do it is get a free testimonial. Now, step number 2 is making an offer.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
When you make an offer with your end desired client or customer that you want to work with, the biggest thing that you want to focus on is gaining the fact that they're going to pay you for some sort of monetary fair exchange. In step number 1, I said, how do you gain social proof? And then after that, what you want to do is you want to make sure that as soon as you get them the desired result that you're going to be promising them on that initial test phase, at the end of that desired time and result that you are going to be getting them, what you want to be saying is, hey, Mr. Business Owner, Miss Business Owner, what I want to do is after 30, 45 days, I get you X KPI. The offer that I'm going to make is one of 2 things. 1, you give me a testimonial in exchange, and then you can take all the work that I've done with it. Or 2, you can even be a little bit more ballsier in this situation and say, 2, you're going to hire me at X base price at a discounted rate that I'm going to go after. If not, I'm going to go on and move on and take these results to other clients. 9 out of 10 times you make an offer like that ballsy, where it's like, hey, you hire me post X, Y, and Z time period, the client is not going to say no, unless you really f it up. And if you did, then guess what? It's a learning lesson in its first place. That being said, once you make the offer, you want to also try and get the testimonial because you can leverage that and go and kind of duplicate the entire process. That is literally the simplest way to do it. Now, once you get into that entire making an offer space, there's a lot of different ways you can monetize that, and we can dive a lot deeper into that. Step number 3 is use the social proof that you just got from doing all this free work for your clients and start using cold outreach. A lot of the times when you can, most businesses go out there, do this free work, they don't understand how to take a result and a testimonial or a case study that they've built and use that as power of leverage. That is the biggest point of leverage. A case study, a testimonial are 2 of the biggest ones that you can ever have, because a case study speaks to the results and a testimonial is coming from the end consumer that you've literally given them the time and the effort that you've needed to get to to give them the result that they want, that they're willing to get in front of a camera or send you an email with the testimonial that they want to give you. When you do that, the big mistake, like I said earlier, is they don't know how to leverage it. In my personal opinion, the fastest, quickest method on using that is going to be cold outreach. When I first got started, after I did this exact same thing, I did the door knocking method like I mentioned earlier, worked, failed, tried it again, worked, failed, and then I went down this free testimonial route, and then eventually I use it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has been an absolute godsend. Now, once you understand your avatar, the space you're gonna go after, the way they think, the conversations they have, as soon as you do that and you start using and leveraging cold outreach, go and add a bunch of people, we use Sales Navigator to get out there and start outreaching these people. There's tools that you can use that can help automate it. I highly suggest in the earlier days is do it all on your own manually, because you understand specifically what needs to happen. Once you're doing that on these messages, when you're doing on LinkedIn cold outreach, is all your goal is step number 4, and that is going to be to book a call. At the end of the day, I don't care what service you're in, the number one KPI that you need to be tracking for your business is going to be getting on that phone call. No matter which way you do, whether you do cold outreach on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, DMs, whatever it is, all you want to do is you want to have a conversation in the DMs and get them just enough interested that they're willing to jump on a phone call with you. There's one bonus tip that I'm going to slide right here, and that's going to be into your DMs, and that's going to be using and getting your hands right now in 2021 while we're shooting this video on an app called Clubhouse. In the last 3 months of me being on Clubhouse passively, and I know guys that are sitting on there 16 plus hours a day right now, are actually generated an absolute load of money. What I mean by that is the perfect time for you to come in and share, start rooms, have conversations with people, and then ask them to book a call. And it has worked like gangbusters. Just prior to recording this video, I was on a Clubhouse room for about an hour and a half, and within that entire time I got 4 emails, and all I said was gave a bunch of value in the industry that I speak in the market that I speak in, and I said, hey, if anybody's interested, shoot me an email, let's book a call, and jump on a call, and every single one of them want to do that. So what I'm sharing with you guys in this specific videos every single week is stuff that I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. Speaking of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, let's take what you need to do to get onto a phone call and get into running paid ads. Now, this is probably my favorite one because I've built a digital marketing agency that runs a multi-network paid advertising agency called GrowRev.com. At GrowRev.com, we spend a lot of fucking money on ads. Now, what you want to be doing is you want to be using the testimonials, you want to be using the case studies and the results and the proof that you've built in the last 4 points that I've just built out for you, and understanding how you can get more clients. Once you do that using the paid ads, whether it's in a local region or in a national region or in an international region, if you know exactly how to do that in a confident way, make sure you're spending money, because the biggest mistake that you can make, unless you are a king at networking at an international level, is not spending money in paid ads. Because if you aren't going to take that proof that you just got, the testimonials that you just got, the results and the case studies, what did you do all of it in the first place for? Put that in front of your ideal clientele, whether that's on Facebook, whether that's on YouTube, whatever it may be. One thing that I will stress over and over and over again, when you're running paid advertising, don't try or don't even think about trying to break even off the first $1 or $10 or $1,000 you put into it. Because at the end of the day, there's one factor that you want to be calculating for, and that's LTV, lifetime value. You got to know, our average lifetime value for our client is over 18 months. So I know that I can spend up to probably even 10, 11, 12 months worth of clientele that are willing to pay me to acquire that client, because I know I'm still going to be profitable after that point. Most businesses that understand lifetime value are the ones that are most scalable. And the reason being is they're the ones that are willing to spend the most amount of money in client acquisition. So to summarize the 5 steps, get social proof, make an offer, use social media for cold outreach, book a call, get on that phone call, and number 5, start running paid ads. These last 5 points that I've given you to share and scale your digital agency has been absolutely helpful. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit it again, hit it again, hit it again, and also do me a favor, leave us a comment on what you're going to be doing to scaling your digital agency. I don't care if it's social media, videos, paid advertising, content, PR, whatever it may be. What are you implementing from this immediately to start scaling your agency? As well, what I look forward to doing is having you hit that subscribe button, because I want to be sharing more content with you like this very, very soon. So I look forward to seeing you real soon.